Hey guys, it's Raikou here. Looking to a top 5 video. Yeah, I'm doing another one of these because I can, because it's something I watched. And I felt so nostalgic, I decided to just do a top 5 video based on, well, my top 5 legendaries. You know, some of these I use in Wi-Fi battles, some of them I don't. SSGX knows which ones I use in Wi-Fi battles because he's fought them firsthand. In case you didn't know, me and him are rivals. If you haven't been on Aquaplay's live stream, how anytime he pops in, I always say, "How's it going, rival?" Plus, me and him always battle. Our battles are always intense, just letting you know that now. Anyway, on to the top 5 list. Number 5, Deoxys. Now, it's the same reason how he was on my top 10 list. Deoxys was actually nostalgic for me when I first encountered him in Birth Island in his regular state, which is what you see now. And due to that nostalgia, Deoxys hit the mark on me. Plus, the movie it was debuted in, Destiny Deoxys, that movie was pretty good, in my opinion. And it was nostalgic, but Destiny Deoxys is not my favorite movie. Number 1, however, is involved in my favorite movie. If you know me well, you already know who my number 1 Pokemon is just from that. Number 4, Raikou. And even more, and it's the same reason for in my top 10 list of favorite Pokemon. Raikou was the first of the legendary dogs I've ever encountered, and when I've heard that theme, when I encountered Raikou, it was so nostalgic to me. Encountering a legendary dog, it was a completely random encounter. In Raikou's movie debut, Zoroark Master's Illusion was good, but it wasn't as nostalgic with his appearance because the main focus of the movie was on Zoroark. So yeah, Raikou was in there, but it wasn't too nostalgic to me. But Raikou does hold a very special place in my heart due to the Raikou I encountered in Gold, Silver, and Crystal. Number 3, Black Kyurem. Why Black Kyurem? What about regular Kyurem? What about white Kyurem? Why has it be Black Kyurem? One thing that's kind of racist. Racism jokes aside, Black Kyurem was the one I mainly liked. That's why I went for Black too. Whenever it comes to Pokemon games, if the mascot's a legendary, when I get my first one, it all determines on who it is. And Pokemon White was my first Pokemon Black and White game because of Zekrom. Then when Black 2 and White 2 came out, and Black Kyurem represented Black 2, I went for Black 2 because of my same nostalgic feeling for Zekrom. Anyway, speaking of which, the movie he appeared in, which is the most recent one here in America, one is up, Keldeo, the one with Keldeo, was a little nostalgic, but not too much. I mean, Kyurem just changed his form at will, and I did not like. I prefer how it was in the games where you needed DNA splicers and you need a Zekrom or a Reshiram. So, yeah. Number 2. Please be something where I can really talk about a lot. Oh! This one I can't talk about. Landorus. More certainly, the Kyurem. The Kyurem form of Landorus looks like a fucking lion. There was one thing about this that made me feel so nostalgic when I was getting it. Other than the Dream Radar and how he was the final boss, so to say. He was the final boss of the Dream Radar. And I got him. Pain in the butt, by the way. So, didn't get had all those tools, so if I didn't have those tools, who knows what would happen. Anyway, that was one bit of nostalgia with Landorus. another bit of nostalgia was because of its shape, a lion. And a lot of my friends know this, but my favorite Disney movie of all time is actually The Lion King. If you remember in Aqua's live stream, he named the Leopard after what I said, Kyurem, which is actually a Lion King reference. So that's the main nostalgic that Landorus has in me because of my childhood with The Lion King. So yeah. Now then, before we get to number 1, the honorable mentions. These are Pokemon that would have appeared if this was a top 10 list, but they did not appear. Now, as they go through, I'll explain why. Palkia. He would have been on this list because of Pearl was my... Well, Diamond was technically my first game, but it got destroyed. But Palkia was my favorite between Dialga and Palkia. And I fought... At the times when it came to stuff like this, I didn't know it was a Primal Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. I thought Palkia would have appeared in Diamond, so yeah. But the Palkia I have had, but I actually traded away. Yeah, I traded away a Palkia. It was a Dream Radar, but I can always get another one, right? Oh boy. Next is Meloetta Pirouette form. Now the Pirouette form I find better than the Aria form, but the fact is the Aria form is what you're mainly stuck with, so that's minus on Meloetta's part. But the Pirouette form, that one Pokemon short that evolves Meloetta, oh my god, when that happened I nearly danced. That was nostalgic for me. Next is Lugia. As you all know, Lugia actually topped a lot of the other legends that you saw before, so why was he on this top list? Well, Lugia kind of went downhill for me after a while. I still like using Lugia, but Lugia is not that nostalgic to me. Sure, Pokemon 2000 is my second favorite movie. That's a reason why I like Lugia so much. That was the main nostalgic trick for me of getting Lugia, but the number 1 kind of blew him out of the water. That's why he went so low. Solo. Next is the regular Zekrom. I already explained Zekrom pretty much through the Black Kyurem, but the thing that made him lower enough to not be on the top 5 was the fact that Zekrom got his ass kicked by Kyurem, who was under control of guesses who tried to murder you. That was a nostalgic trip, but it caught me so off guard. And plus the movie it appeared in did not help him out a lot. As the teeny movie, I don't know the title of it. It's not one of my favorite movies. And lastly, Rayquaza. I bet you all know the nostalgic trip of Rayquaza. If you don't, then I'll explain. Rayquaza appeared in Destiny Deoxys as the minor antagonist of the whole movie, because he was the one that caused the conflict between Deoxys. Now, after that whole thing, he became good, but a lot of focus was split between Rayquaza and Deoxys, but Deoxys was more better and all that stuff. But even more, to be honest, I actually planned Rayquaza being number 1, but I decided not to. For one thing. He was going to be number 1 because of Pokemon Emerald. That one scene in Pokemon Emerald, that was so nostalgic. When he stopped Kyogre and Groudon, that was nostalgic. But if you've noticed, most of these things I've been talking about movies on how they have a nostalgic trip to me. So number 1 has to have a movie nostalgic trip, not game. So, who is it that has that nostalgic trip that's also in my favorite movie? Number 1. Nice entrance, Darkrai. Anyway, Darkrai. His nostalgic trip for me, which hit me hard. Harder than Ash's death. You know, that's human, not Pokemon. This is going by Pokemon stuff. And even harder than Lucario's. It was Darkrai's sacrifice. That whole movie, Rise of Darkrai. I actually rewatched it before making this video. And my god. Darkrai's scenes are super nostalgic in it. The whole movie is nostalgic to me. It's very dear to my heart. That's my favorite movie's track is Arasion. And when I saw that scene of Arasion, when the music played, when everything looked like hope was no longer gone, when hope was no longer there, that song played. It saved everything to where even to this day, whenever I see that scene, I actually do cry. And even Darkrai's death, I cried. I was holding it back when I saw that, but then Arasion hits, and everything just came out. Now then, I also updated my Wi-Fi battles, which I'll also upload at the same time I do this. Possible upload this, or probably tomorrow, because it's kind of big, because I did a lot of editing. But I am asking this to you, anyone that watches this, and I'll even ask people, some of my friends on Skype that can help me out. I don't want to use Pokegen, guys, but I need your help. I need a Darkrai for my team. There's one slot remaining in my team. I want it to be Darkrai. If you guys can help me, I will be extremely grateful of having my favorite legendary among my team. I'll see you all next video. Well then, it's been Petia's Adventures. See you all next time.